Hello, everybody. Okay, so, I was afraid that was going to happen. As you can tell, I'm inside today, so my dogs can hear me, because usually I do this outside. Skyline, it's enough. I might have to move myself. Let's see. Skyline, it's enough. We'll see if I just keep talking if they calm down. And hopefully you can hear me. But I'm inside today because I wanted to be in the kitchen. I'm in my kitchen because we're talking all about food. We are talking about diet. We are talking everything nutrition that we buy to eat and put in our bodies. Skyline, it's enough. Eleanor, it's enough. All right, hopefully they'll calm down. So yeah, welcome back. It's episode 5, and we're talking about food. Couple things before we dive into the discussion today. I'm a health coach, right? That's what my shirt says. So the information here, and really anywhere, it's used to be, or it's intended to be used as guidance and as suggestions. You know, I am a health coach, a habit change coach, so I am trained in these things, nutrition and habit change, and really making the shifts in your life to live happier and longer and healthier. However, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist, so there is a line that I can't really cross when it comes to nutrition as far as getting out of my scope of practice. So I just wanted to put that out there because even though I am certified as a health and life coach, a wellness coach, and I do influence health in nutrition and in diet, I'm not really the one to say, eat this, not that, make meal plans. And I'm not sure the extent of what a dietitian and nutritionist do. But my goal here is to influence health. And if you want to join me and work with me on your health, that's my job, of course. And I love it. That's why I do it. But use this as a guide. Use my knowledge and the information that I give you as a guide. And like I said, of course, we can always work together if you have a certain health issue that you want to, try to take care of with your diet. Like I can do that as a health coach. So with that being said, we're going to talk all about diet. And really, the past few weeks, we've all, everything kind of blends together. So things are going to start to come full circle here for you, which is going to be great. So, self-love, self-care, really bringing that energy into our body, the love and care and peace for our internal body, bringing our stress level down. We talked all about stress. And then exercise, getting yourself, your blood pumping, and all of the good goodies that we talked about last week when it comes to exercise. So now diet. Diet is probably the top, Google search. Like, is this food good for me? Is this food bad for me? How many times have you Googled those foods? Like, even I will raise my hand. Once upon a time, I used to do that. The important thing here about diet is understanding and learning what works for you, because there's no one size fits all diet. There isn't. And sometimes that takes some experimentation. Sometimes that takes some, time and effort and really care for your body, which is why we first talked about self-love and self-care. See how it all kind of blends together. And the fad diets these days, like keto, gluten-free, paleo. It's is just such a topic that it can be really complicating and it can be really frustrating. How many times have you or a friend of yours or family member, tried, say, the keto diet and it didn't work for them and they got frustrated and they went backwards or they got sick or something like that? Or even trying going gluten-free or trying anything like on a whim because you saw in a magazine or you saw on Facebook that worked for somebody else. I get a lot of questions that's like, what do you do that keeps you fit and that keeps you healthy? Like, what's your secret, basically, right? And I believe I talked about this in the first episode of Gut Goodies, but I personally follow, it's a whole food. I think of it more as a whole foods lifestyle than anything else, because I don't eat wheat, so gluten. I don't eat dairy, sugar, artificial sugars, alcohol, or caffeine. And those are the top 5 inflammatory foods that you can put in your body. So when we talk about eating for, say, weight loss, what we're really talking about is eating for a healthy gut, because we have learned that if our gut is unbalanced, if it's unhealthy, if we have, allergies or sensitivities, that causes inflammation, and ultimately weight gain is inflammation. And yeah, so when it comes to the topic of diet, it's really, really specific to your body because our biomes are so different. So there's not really, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, eat this, don't eat that. There are suggestions that I can make. Like I said, I can make the suggestion, okay, if you know that wheat is, or, bread affects you, causes you to bloat, causes you, distress, like, okay, let's, try a gluten-free bread, or try, only eating bread 3 days a week, or even like 4 days a week. Like, we narrow it down to really see if that's what's affecting you. So when it comes to diet, it's really about what works in your particular biome and, working through that process so that you can figure it out. So a few key things before we move on. Actually, I'd like to check in with everybody because I realized I just kind of got on here and talked. So as you come in here, say hi in the chat, post any questions you have. I was really hoping to get some questions so I can really see where my audience was at, and how to kind of drive this information download. And I'm really going to try not to make this a super long video, because I want this to be as concise as possible. All right, let's move on. So when we talk about inflammation, we're talking about an immune response from our body. And that really comes from when the body senses it's in potential harm. So just like with stress, how when we're in a potentially harmful situation, we have those hormones that come out to help us either fight or flight, right? Similar when it comes to inflammation. So when the inflammation hormone is produced, it causes swelling, it causes heat, it causes, just that response to help your body fight off whatever the potentially harmful stimulus was. So does that make sense? So it's like with injury. If you get hurt, if you scratch yourself, if you, fall and hurt yourself, you tend to, you swell up, you get red. Sometimes you'll have heat coming from the space. So that's the same for our gut. If we eat, like an excessive amount of sugar, or an excessive amount of wheat, or excessive amount of foods that our bodies, like our particular bodies, have a harder time processing, then the inflammation response is triggered, and that's when it tries to like fight off. So if the inflammation response, if that hormone is produced too much, then that's what causes problems in our gut, because it's too heavy. It's too heavy. So that's why there's a lot of diseases that can say that they're thought of to be caused by inflammation, because it's low-grade inflammation that just grows and grows and grows. Because say, like for me, for instance, I avoid dairy, wheat, and sugar because I have learned through experimentation that my gut has a harder time processing it. Why does it have a hard time processing it? Because when there's sensitivities in your gut, and like I had leaky gut, which means you have literal holes in your gut lining. And when our bodies are sensitive to something, it triggers that response, and it can cause leaky gut. So like for me, if I continually ate wheat and dairy and sugar, my gut would just be so inflamed, and that's where it would look like weight gain. And the reason why I couldn't lose weight, but because I continued to eat those things, like, oh, I work out and I do all these things, but I'm still so like bloated. Like, why is this tummy not going away? You have to look at your diet. So like for me, when I cut out wheat, dairy, and sugar, almost 10 years ago, and it just eliminated that whole inflammation, that whole weight gain. Like to me, didn't feel like weight. I didn't feel super chunky. Sure, I was uncomfortable in my body, but I didn't feel like I needed to lose weight, if that makes sense. So when you have sensitivities and your body sends that response, that's when the inflammation is a problem, and that's where it can cause diseases, and that's not good. So why do certain foods cause inflammation? Well, we have, like I said, that hormone that's produced when we eat something that is, not all that dense. Mainly it's sugar. It causes the body response of, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but the hormone is cytokines, cytokines, cytokines. I only researched this because I knew there was something that was produced when inflammation is present, but I wanted to make sure that I had like the right information. These hormones regulate the inflammatory response. So if there's too much of them or if there's too little of them, it causes problems both ways. So this is why, like I said, some people have a hard time losing weight, or they try a certain diet and they get frustrated because it doesn't work, and then they go back to doing whatever they were doing. So if you really, if you have a goal to lose weight, if you have a goal just to eat healthier, my suggestion as a health coach would be, to do some experimentation and to understand that there are certain foods that our bodies just have a hard time digesting and dealing with. And that is wheat, dairy, sugar, caffeine, and alcohol. Like I said, the 5 top inflammatory foods. And really the scary part is that wheat and sugar especially are super, super easily hidden. They're hidden in like everything, which is another reason why I wanted to be in the kitchen today, so that I could show you a little bit of, the foods that I look for, and kind of give you an inside look into my dietary habits. So let's actually go ahead and do that now, shall we? So I'm going to leave the computer here, and I'll come back over and talk to you. I'm going to grab, so this is perfect example. Let me backtrack a little bit. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So I'm gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. My fiance is not. He is a little bit like, we don't do regular milk in the house unless we're making like biscuits and gravy. He likes biscuits and gravy. But, he eats all the stuff. He eats the, pastas and breads, bagels, cream cheese. Like, that's his breakfast every morning, bagel and cream cheese. English muffins, like all the good stuff, right? So let me just show you. I'll show you the difference between what I choose and what he can handle. And again, this is all like, he can handle these foods. Great. My body has a harder time processing them. That doesn't mean I'm going to make him go gluten-free. So we have to be gentle with our bodies and our partner's bodies and just understand that everybody's different. And I am so happy that he can eat whatever he wants. And I choose to do what's right for me and, take care of my body in that same way. Because ultimately, he is taking care of his body. He's just different. Okay, so let me just show you. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so this is a gluten-free bread, one of many brands that I like. And it's called Three Bakers Ancient Grains. And the ingredients are pretty clean. There is some cane sugar down towards the end of the ingredients list. And we're going to talk about this. So there's a key things that you want to look for when you're looking at the ingredients list. And that is obviously the ingredients. The smaller the list, like the shorter it is, the better it is. And you're looking for like whole foods, like things that you can recognize as food. So let's see, for this, water, whole grain brown rice flour, cornstarch, whole grain millet flour. There's a lot of gluten-free flours. And then like halfway down, it's cane sugar, okay? So this is where it gets a little bit interesting. The farther down, so like you see the ingredients list, there's the big ingredients list. And the farther down the ingredient is, the less of it is in the product. So if I read this and sugar was the second ingredient, it is very high in sugar. So then, so like when I was picking out this bread and I saw sugar, I was like I wasn't really sure if I wanted to make that choice. And then I looked up at the actual like total grams of sugar up at the top here. And, total sugars is 4 grams per 2 slices of this bread, which really is fantastic. Anything under 10 is fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. So, also notice that it doesn't say any added sugars. It doesn't say sugar alcohols. It just says sugars, 4 grams. And I can clearly see what sugar it is, because that's the other thing. Like I said, sugar is one of those that hides in everything. There are like 100 different names for sugar. So in this particular in this particular bread, the sugar is cane sugar, which is it's a non-GMO cane sugar, and honey. Yeah, so those are the two ingredients of sugar in this bread. And the other part you want to look at is the fiber, the carbohydrates, and the protein. So when you're looking at something like bread, fiber to carbohydrate ratio is super important. And I actually learned this neat trick from Team Beachbody, 2B Mindset, I think. Yes, 2B Mindset. So if you're interested in that, check that out. But you want to have 1 dietary fiber, 1 gram of dietary fiber per 10 grams of total carbohydrates. That would be like optimum according to To Be Mindset. And the total carbohydrate is 38 grams, and the dietary fiber is 7 grams. That's a lot. 7 grams of dietary fiber to 38 grams of carbohydrates. That means that I could have 70 grams of carbohydrates in this, and it would still be in like a good ratio. So that was what really steered me more to this bread. And the protein is good. It has 3 grams of protein per 2 slices of bread, which is excellent. So that is a gluten-free bread that I currently have in my house. Great option. I use it for avocado toast, dipping in soup, things like that. Anything you would use regular bread for. And then we go to regular bread. We're just going to do a little comparison here. There's no judgment. Absolutely no judgment here. So if you're watching this and going, oh gosh, like I buy that bread weekly, like my whole family eats it. Like it's really like, this is all about information gathering. All about information gathering. No judgment, just curiosity. So in this bread, yes, the ingredients list is relatively short. And that's, why I picked it up. Enriched wheat flour, soybean oil, dough conditioner. Like this is actually like a super good choice when I'm looking at the ingredients. There are some chemicals, which, that's how it goes. So when you're looking for a bread, this is another reason why I picked this, like no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial flavors or colors. It's those kinds of things that you want to look for. Good source of iron. They're just regular deli rolls. So let's look at, so it's got 5 grams of protein per one of these rolls, which is actually pretty good. Total sugars is 1 gram. So, okay, if we're going to compare, so there's 1 gram of sugar in here to 4 in here, right? Oh, sorry. Fiber to carb ratio, we've got 1 gram of fiber to 36 grams of carbs, which not the best. There are better options, of course. And then the sugar, I want to add in here that it says 1 gram of sugar and 1 added sugar. So if there's 1 gram of regular sugar and then 1 gram of added sugar, what does that mean? The added sugar is a chemical. Really. It's not like cane sugar or honey. It's something added. So it's like a sugar alcohol or a sugar chemical of sorts. But again, if you buy this weekly, if you are one of those that, you're not shopping this way that I shop, it's okay. It is absolutely okay. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to gain knowledge. And that's what my job is here today, is really just to open the awareness and to give you some information so that when you go to the grocery store next, maybe you can check out some labels of some other products, or check out the labels of what you already purchased. Like, again, there's no judgment here. There is no like, oh man, Dana, like I'm eating so bad. Like, no, it's okay. There's always room for improvement. And you know what? If you're saying those things, like, man, I'm like eating really terrible. Like, there's your awareness. There's your open mind. Like, explore that want, because that kind of like, man, I could be eating better, or, I wonder what the other options are. Like, change it into that. Explore what you get to eat. And then don't harbor on yourself of what you are eating. It's really okay. Always room for improvement. Always room to ask for help if you do want to explore other options. So I'm going to put these away. And we're going to talk about some options here. So before I move on, I really just love you guys for sticking with me, and I really hope I haven't pushed any buttons. Again, this is all information and no judgment, just, opening up awareness and just showing you the difference between when you would shop like for a gluten-free bread versus a regular bread. So I do want to give you some, excuse me, other options for like anti-inflammatory foods, because like I said, weight gain and stomach discomfort, like everything we've talked about as far as an unhealthy gut goes, is more than likely from inflammation. And inflammation comes from that immune response when your body feels like it has something harmful. So some anti-inflammatory foods here. We've got berries. Pretty much anything that ends in berry, strawberry, blueberry, blackberry, all the berries. Eat all the berries. Whole foods, like all the fruits, really. Like they're such good sources of fiber. Some even have a good carbohydrate level in them. So like post-workout, you could eat a banana, and you're refueling your whole body. Of course, vegetables, broccoli, asparagus, all the greens. The more green the vegetable is, the better it is for your gut. And the higher water content is also really good. So cucumbers, avocado, peppers, mushrooms, all of these are whole foods, right? Did you notice that's like a theme here? Like that was a lot of like produce section, right? So like when I go to the grocery store, I pretty much do the perimeter of the grocery store because that's just the lifestyle I choose in my life. And I do grab some things from the inside aisles. I do grab the the gluten-free bread. I do grab gluten-free crackers. I have this knowledge now from going through school and from like my own personal experience, like what I know to avoid for my personal, for my body composition or for my biome. So whole foods is really the key for a healthy gut. Anything processed, not so good. But again, this is all just opening your knowledge, opening your brain up a little bit. And, it's not to say there's a good food versus a bad food. So let me talk about that right quick. So if you brought me that bread that I just put it back over there. If you had brought that over to me and said, Dana, is this a good food? Is this going to be good for me? And I would say, it depends. And that is like the number one line from the nutritionist at Health Coach Institute. It depends. Pretty much any food. If you had asked me, Dana, is this good for me? Is this what are the health benefits of this? I would say it depends. Try it. If you notice any discomfort, any pain, any bloating, diarrhea, constipation, skin breakout, I would ask you to open your awareness and say, try it. And if you experience any of those negative side effects, then maybe it's not so good. So that's what I'm talking about here. I am talking about opening your awareness, opening your mindset so that you can explore all kinds of foods, so that you can explore a healthier lifestyle and really throw that diet mentality out the window, because diet mentality does not work. And you want to know why? because it's based on deprivation and limitation. Like, oh, I can't eat that. I can't eat that. Why? Why can't you eat that? If you know it's because it has, negative side effects, bloating, constipation, like all that stuff, then focus on what you get to eat. I get to eat all these whole foods that come from the ground or that come from, wherever. Like, I get to eat such amazing food. And then don't even worry about what you're not eating. Like, if your body feels better eating the whole foods, and like some people say, like not eating junk, not eating sugar, not eating the high processed, like bad foods. Okay. Like, we have this label of like bad and good food, but really all healthy eating is eating healthy for you. Okay. I can't stress that enough, that there's not one diet fits, everybody. There isn't one thing that everybody could do and everybody would be skinny. There's no magic diet. Like, that's why healthcare is becoming so personalized, because our biomes are so different. And I hope I'm not jumping all over the place a little bit. It's just like when I talk about the gut, I tend to get a little bit excited. So our biome is super complex. It is super individualized. Like, these days, I don't even know what kind of testing they would do for like food allergies or anything like that, because my food allergies and sensitivities was found through dietary experimentation, which is really, I feel, easier and more effective, because you're starting to listen to your body, and you're learning how to shift your lifestyle and make the habit changes that work for you. And really, you can, like, moderation is pretty much key, and having no guilt in that moderation. So, like the 80-20 rule, there's a lot of fitness professionals that live by the 80-20, and that's a great rule to live by. Like 80% you eat, the whole foods, like healthy stuff, and then the 20% you can splurge, you can treat yourself. It's not a cheat, it's a treat. If you go out for your birthday and if you go out for your birthday and they give you a dessert with a candle in it and you want to eat it, go for it. Like, why would you not eat something that you would genuinely enjoy and that would bring you joy on your birthday? Like, come on. So that's what I'm talking about here. Moderation, no guilt. There's no deprivation, no limitation. Once you know what your body thrives on, you can eat it all you want. All you want. And everybody's body is different. Can't stress that enough. So, few things before I close out this video so it doesn't get too long. I would love to... How can I say this? I would love to offer my services to anybody that is interested in doing some experimentation with their gut. I have a body imbalance cleanse that takes you through 21 days of cleansing. Well, it's not 21. It's a cleanse that for a couple days, you're weaning off. So, like I was talking about the five inflammatory foods: wheat, dairy, sugar, alcohol, and caffeine. So for the first couple of days, you're weaning off of those foods, and then you're cleansing. So you have a list of foods that are beneficial for this cleanse and foods to avoid. Like, it's very straightforward. There's all this information. Like, if you decided to do this cleanse, you would get this whole guidebook, which takes you through day by day, And, there's a what to eat, what not to eat. There's ways that you can really help your body to cleanse. And it's very light. Like, there's a lot of detoxes out there. There's the juice cleanses, the 3-day cleanses, some even 7-day cleanses can be a little harsh if you're not used to it. So this cleanse really helps you go, really slow, and it helps your body adjust, but you're also cleansing out and detoxing all the stuff that, your body just doesn't need. So if you're somebody who, has come to their wits' end and you don't know what to do next, I'm here for you. I am here to help you. I'm here to hold your hand as you go through whatever process you feel you need to. So I have this Body Imbalance cleanse. It is, I'm still running my $99 fee for this right now, and that's a really good deal for 21 days, one-on-one guidance from me, and it's $100 investing in your health. This is like your jump start to getting your health where you want it to be. The other programs I do have are a little more extensive, and they focus on transitioning to a gluten-free or whole foods lifestyle, or I have a dairy-free lifestyle. So I have 3 different guides, and I just want to offer those services to you guys because I genuinely care about how everybody feels in their bodies, and I want everyone to be happy and healthy and just live long lives. And really, that begins right here in our gut. So I really hope that this was beneficial to you guys. And I, again, just hope I didn't step on any toes or bring out any sort of negativity in anybody. This was genuinely just, I wanted to show a comparison. I wanted to show you how to read those labels and, really give you something of value. So now you can go to the grocery store and 1 gram of fiber to 10 grams of carbohydrates, and then you can make the choice. This is the whole thing. Why as a health coach, I can guide you in the direction, and then you are the one making the choice. I'm not a dietitian saying, no, don't choose that, choose that. Okay? Does that make sense? I'm here to help you build your intuition, build your empowerment so that you can make the right choices and make the choices that are right for you. That's what I mean by right choices. So if you've been to the doctor recently and they tell you need to lose weight and they tell you need to eat healthy and you don't know what that means for you, contact me. Contact me and we'll chat and I'll see how I can help you. Whether that's a cleanse, whether that's a program, whatever it is, I want to help you be totally well in your whole body. So I think that's going to about do it for this episode because it has gotten a little bit long. And again, I'm so happy you're all sticking with me. 1 second. Got to stay hydrated, especially since I've been talking for the past almost 40 minutes. Holy moly. But yeah, thank you all for being here. And again, let me know how I did. Sometimes with these lives, I just get so caught up and I get talking, especially when it's about diet. Holy moly. 40 minutes just flew by. But, so please drop a comment, message me, let me know if I was helpful for you. And I look forward to helping anyone who decides that they, are ready to take their nutrition, to take their diet, to take their life to a new level and really get in tune with your mind, your body, and your soul, because really, this is where we're living. This is our vessel on this planet Earth. And let's treat it with love. Let's treat it with respect. And let's feed it with fuel and just, I just want everybody to be happy. Like if I could wave a magic wand, poof, and have everybody be happy, that would be like the best. But all right. So I will talk to you all later, and I might chime back in throughout the week just to kind of check in. We'll see, because I feel like that was kind of a lot. So if anybody has any questions that they'd like me to follow up with, please put them in the comments. Please message me. Like, I am here to help. I am here to be the information and the guidance here. So, yes. All right, everyone. I have a challenge for you this weekend. If you go to the grocery store, start to open up your awareness as to what you grab and put in the grocery basket. Are you grabbing things? Are you aware of what you're grabbing? Are you grabbing them just out of, habit? Like, start reading those labels. And if it's helpful for you, I can put in the chat that little tip from To Be Mindset. And so you can start to open your awareness to that when it comes to reading labels. And remember, the farther down the, sugar or whatever ingredient you're not so fond of, the farther it is on the nutrition list label, the less of it is, and the more towards the top, the more prominent it is. So I hope that everybody has a great weekend. And actually, one more thing. In the light of this, the coronavirus, I just want to say that I hope everybody is practicing hand washing, healthy hygiene, and really with this, like healthy diets and healthy lifestyle choices. And there's another way that I can help if anybody is interested in some guidance in anything like that, just to boost your health, immunity, eating clean, eating all the fruits and veggies, eating the high fiber foods, eating the whole grain foods, all those kinds of things will be helpful too. So, okay. Bye-bye for now, and I will be back with you shortly. And next week, we're going to take healthy eating a step further into conscious eating. So stay tuned for that for next week, and I hope everybody has a fabulous Friday, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.